Another important survey to do along a creek is the longitudinal profile, and it starts out by establishing the distances from as we're moving down the channel. You have to lay out the tape kind of close to the thaw wedge as you can make it. I'm by myself, so I'm a little bit limited in how to do this, but laid it along the channel here. And then at various distances along the longitudinal profile, we have our rod person holding up the rod, and you're taking readings on it with a level. One of the things that's important to remember about this is when you're taking a reading, let's say that through the handle level, you come up with the reading of 1.4 meters. Well, what's handy to have is have the person holding the rod put their finger right on 1.4. There's 1.0, 1.4, and then if you're looking through the hand level, you can see, is that what I just read? Because the person closing to the rod, whether it's this hand-built painted one or one measured off with numbers and all that kind of stuff, in either case, it's very useful to say, is this the point you're looking for, just to confirm that, to get a check on that. Right, so that'd be 1.4, that'd be 1.5, that'd be 1.55. And so the person on the rod can pretty easily read those values off that pretty easily. Then after you've taken one reading, we're measuring it on the bed of the stream. You're going to get the depth of the water. So right here looks like we're at 0.17. As I can see on the water, you probably can't see that. We've got the distance off the tape. So we're at 2.1. You probably can't read that on there, but the meters are marked up in red in this case, and then the decimeters. You don't need to get any more accurate in distance than a closest decimeter. Anyway, so you got that distance of 2.1. We had depth of 0.17. And then 1.4 was the reading on the level, right? And then we continue on down. And we're in a pool there. This is going to be a shallower riffle. We're going to have a shallower reading right there. It's going to indicate in the survey as a result of that. We just kind of continue on down, and you do a number of readings as you're moving down the stream. And that's going to give you the longitudinal profile. Every one of these, you're getting the reading on the rod, the distance on the tape, and the depth of the water. Keep on going through here.
It's also good to get the substrate, the gravel or whatever particle size along the stream bed.
Another thing you also want to get along the way, a really good idea to get you've got the surface of the water pretty well because you've measured the depth. You're able to work out with that one. So you really don't need to get what the height of the right edge of the water, the left edge of the water, anything like that. But it's really good to get the bankful level. Now, the bankful may be something like this form right here. We might be at bankful right there. So you might want to get a reading on that bankful level. And so if you don't have to get one for every point, but for every few, at least no farther than about 10 points apart. And if you can define that bankful level along the channel, that will help you define what's happening longitudinally in the survey. Another important thing to think about a longitudinal profile is getting the significant points. You want to make sure to get there's a step there. There's another step right here. Make sure you're marking the step. Make sure you get the deepest part of the pool as you're moving through. My tape isn't really going through the pool, but it would normally be going around like that. You just want to think about, if you're drawing a graph of this, you want to draw a graph that is going to represent what the shape is. And so getting significant points, very important points, are really useful for that. And so if you could draw a straight line between one point and the next, you've defined, there's not a lot of morphology changes in nature that you're missing. So you're trying to make sure that your points capture that morphology.